Welcome, Virgo. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your April, May, and June reading, built and based upon the energy of now, the present moment, full moon in Libra, only having occurred less than 12 hours ago. And where I'm located, there was a major earthquake in the middle of the night. So this is about this discharging, this rattling of our cage, or the shifting of our foundations and undoing with hope, with a lot of anger and violence, some of the myth of perfection we labor under. Something I think Virgos will very particularly resonate towards. This is an earth sign, I believe, energy that we are looking to dislodge. The balance card talks about this energy of recognizing the possessions you give, the possessions you receive, the values you give and receive, this effortless flow of giving and receiving, and that this is intended to restore harmony in your life, to value justice, fair, equitable treatment in all of your energy exchanges. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. And this also underscores the compassion, which can be quite natural to you, Virgo, as a sign of service that wants to respond practically, tangibly to a need, and therefore is expert at sorting out what material resources can be offered. This also refers to you acknowledging your own needs and desires can be part of what you are facing up to at this time, responding to a certain anger within when you recognize that you have been denying yourself something you deeply desire. I've laid out April, May, and June here, and I am using the archetype oracles here, and I have clarified those with the African Tarot. I'll clarify these with the Crow Tarot and finish up with the Flower Oracle. So I'm going to start with the one. For the month of April, we're going to dive in with this energy, and I'm going to read from the guidebook. The one is one love. Our ability to experience this archetype firsthand is limited. It comes in brief and potent moments that we are left to savor for a lifetime. The one is both the energy that unites all living things and our capacity to sense this intimate union. This archetype eludes us most of our lives, appearing as a concept in a distant galaxy. Yet when we are in the midst of its power, a solemn reverence falls across all the land. We glimpse ourselves in the vastness of all consciousness, the precious knowing that life is a gift, and we are both the giver and receiver of this fortune. I'm also reading, simply imagining this possibility will activate the one. And this is the part where I believe you are claiming some desire particularly for love, and that love can be in the form of a passion, a devotion, an opportunity, a skill development, a project. And this is clarified in April by the Queen of Swords. I love this energy for you. Not only is the air energy emphasizing your ruling planet Mercury, which is air energy, but it's also emphasizing the power of the word, the power of communication, language. You're facilitating conversation. This can be a conversation with someone or something you feel is extremely, ultimately of value to you. Someone that represents a kind of love or perfection that you have rarely encountered, but that you have continue to dismiss from your life because the power of it is daunting. It's fearful for you. Instead of not talking about it, pretending it doesn't exist, wiping it away, you are actually acknowledging that this is a thing for you, that this is an idea that you want to talk about. This isn't the pursuit of a loved one or a beloved project. This is the consideration of its meaning, its significance in your life. I'm going to clarify this. Yeah, I'm going to clarify this with the Page of Swords, one card, and this is quite lovely. And another card, please. The Knight of Swords. Okay, so we're definitely stuck up in our head here. There is a lot of fear. There is a lot of information and experience that you've gathered, perhaps since the encounter with this beloved or this perfect idea, this distant ideal or representative model of perfection in your mind. You know that perfection doesn't exist in the world, but there's a way in which you have projected that perfection in the past onto this thing, this project, this relationship. You also know that you don't know really anything about this. You have not allowed yourself the opportunity to get to know this. You want to witness it. You want to observe it. You want to follow it around. So there can be some spy energy active in April for you. This tracking down perhaps an old idea or an old person in order to see how they're doing, to see if they might be receptive to a conversation, yet you don't know that you have the wherewithal to actually initiate such a conversation. It is on your mind constantly. Something about this time of the year brings their energy into your awareness, and you can't help but wonder what could have been. In May, I'm doing this a little differently, and I like this better. The venom is described in the guidebook as the curse, the poison, the toxin even. Much to our dismay, the venom is always lurking in the shadows, found in our relationships, thoughts, speech, or environment. Thankfully, the cycle of purification and detoxification comes so naturally that it's built into our every exhale. Archetypal venom is rarely remedied as easily, however, and it can come in potent forms and quantities that are deeply damaging to us and to the world. When the venom card appears, there is a harmful substance in our psychic realm that must be identified. Acknowledgement is the first step. Change is the second. The remedy will reveal itself in time, and with it, forgiveness. When you harm another, you harm yourself. Keep this in mind for our earth as well, with cosmic consequences. This is actually really a beautiful acknowledgement in May of your self-damage, self-wounding. If a wound has been inflicted on you by another, particularly a loved one, and let's be clear, it is usually only those people that we are intimately close to, that we care about, that are even in the position to hurt us the most deeply. The recognition of that is really allowing you to be honest with yourself about how you may have held on to not the love, but the damage, to the wound, to the imagined slight, to the imagined rejection, or the rejection that you have ultimately responded to this beloved with. In May, this card is clarified by the Eight of Pentacles. On the face of it, it's almost as though you respond to this awareness, this um, reflection, deeper reflection of your own part and responsibility in something that has left you desperately longing to know more, to understand better. With work, work helps you to be safe, be protected, to stay in your own zone where you feel safe, anchored, secured, where you know you're going to get results, where you can quantify those results in a way that is satisfying to you and does not open you up to the vast field of subliminal consciousness that this love can have touched off for you, sparked off for you, this vast sense of an unknown but highly ecstatic glimpse of the world, maybe one that you realize cannot be sustained, or so you believed, that intensity of love, admiration, reciprocity could not be sustained unless you understand now it was worked upon, it was agreed to. And so I do feel like May is giving you a greater opportunity for deeper reflection and enlightenment about the growth and maturity that you're experiencing. I think this is a time of emotional intelligence, the growth of that with the Nine of Swords, yes, and the Four of Wands and the Fool. This is brilliant. Yes. You want that love. You want that union. You want to build that relationship, that active opportunity to grow and expand into a greater passion, a greater opportunity for a higher level of work, work that exceeds beyond you. This is a project, a relationship that could launch a project that can impact the world, and you know that. That in some ways is a source of the fear you experience, the anxiety. Perhaps the partner that you once saw as a professional model or equal at the least is no longer that. Perhaps they've abandoned the field. Perhaps they've moved into another direction altogether. But that loss, that suffering of a beautiful idea is part of what you've been laboring under. And yet the Fool says you have all the power to move forward. Whether this imagined relationship or project opportunity exist in the material world or not, the opportunity to find this kind of partnership still exists. And that ultimate partnership is with yourself. This is you realizing that you have or will, must gain the truth and trust within yourself that your path, your potential is deserving of. Regardless of the status of the relationship, you want to impact the world. You are impacting the world. Could this person be a partner in that effort? You may never know, particularly if you're fearful about approaching the experience of rejection, loss, hurt, regret, disappointment, that it can't possibly live up to your dreams. However, you can keep going on your path. You can continue. And with the stronger acknowledgement, honesty, relationship with yourself that can be truthful about your responsibility to what you imagine to be an ideal, a romantic ideal, you are capable of magnetizing that kind of relationship to you in the present moment. You may be on the path as we speak, magnifying those connections to you, because I see a spiritual, a cultural, certainly a social foundation being established by you so that your plans can grow. In the month of June, the castle is described in the guidebook as the palace, the penthouse, or the fortress. And we see the bejeweled eyelid, but there's almost like a chain rather than fake eyelashes, a beautiful rose, perfection of beauty, and the lovely pearls in a box. The castle, it represents abundant riches, seductive fantasy, ornate wonders, and lavish adornments, yet the walls are thick, cold, and shadowy. This card points to a tendency to hold on to possessions, quite literally or quite possibly a literal home, or position that project the image of achievement while the soul longs to run barefoot in the forest. The castle lulls us with its spell of materialism, and we fall asleep to our deepest dreams. The castle can be a motivating force, an enchanting goal to travel toward, but it is best not to linger within its walls of decadent deception for too long. Notice how castles are designed to keep things out. They defend, they separate. It is likely there's a connection and community beyond its walls that will revitalize you. And the card clarifying it is the Six of Cups. Wow, this to me feels almost like the core of pleasure, play, imagination, giving and receiving love freely. What moment in your life, particularly as a child, did you experience the exercise of your gifts in this way, in a way that created joy, play, entertainment, or just positive memories for another, for others, where you didn't have an agenda, doing what you do best, where you just luxuriated in the joy of doing it, being it, with the talent that came easily to you? That is what you are looking at in the long term. You have what you want. You are moving along the path of your ambitions. You may be steadily climbing. You may have achieved all and beyond what you ever hoped to. However, what your soul is calling for is that pleasure, is that joy, is that reciprocity, is that playfulness. Someone that you're thinking of has a wonderful sense of humor, loves to laugh. And this card is clarified by the Six of Wands and the Two of Cups. I'm not taking any of these. This is enough. So yes, I definitely see the attention that you are receiving in the world is the result of your finding your place within a community, within a relationship, within a family, recognizing that doing your part well with boundaries, with clarity, with equity among your co-creators is activating the sense of a deeper connection within you to community. Not just a romantic ideal that lives in a cold, sterile place, quite likely in your mind, and instead really resonates in the context of a social environment, one in which you seek and find connection, deeper connection that speaks to your potential that you have yet to tap into, yet to realize. And that seems particularly clear for that person that you are aspiring to connect with, that you are curious about here, that you are terribly afraid of, because the connection is so strong. The willingness to do the work hasn't existed. Perhaps it was the knowledge or skills to do the work of simply being clear with one another, agreeing to the terms, getting to know each other, doing your part, and allowing that to grow, allowing a relationship to pace itself, to incrementally advance, expand in a way that gives you a sense of pride, Something about this person makes you proud to be with them. You feel as though you have received a prize. You feel as though they make you look better. They certainly make you feel a way you've never felt before. And this is the potential for a deep and lasting love that's going to take you someplace where you never imagined you could go. I'm going to finish up this reading, Virgo, with a crystal. I'll take the bird of paradise and the African violet, just because they both showed up so beautifully. The bird of paradise came first, and it is self-acceptance. You are so much more. I think the relationship that you're contemplating or the opportunity you're building towards, you're gaining the courage to face, is that speaking to your potential. The African violet, keyword is spirituality. It's time to connect with what you believe. Do you believe in love? Thank you so much, Virgo, for liking, sharing this, subscribing to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I appreciate your comments and all the ways that you support me. Namaste.